So now, everybody's favorite subject, more about me. Hello, everyone. Bront, CatHerder here. We're having some fun talking Raid Shadow Legends and me, because I am humble and I am here to tell you about it. But seriously, I wanted to give you guys a bit of an update on the free to pause account. We are here in the free to play challenge. I am still number one in the content creators. I have fallen into number two in the overall, and that's fine. I'm again not really fighting for points at the moment. I'm just doing things that make sense for the account. Occasionally, I've pushed myself a little further just to see if I could. But for the most part, I am farming things that make sense. I am not pushing additional content, and I really should have my glasses on. So let me throw my glasses on. Let me actually get into the content we're going to talk about, and we'll give you a quick overview of the account. So I just finished up a live stream. I do live stream on Twitch and sometimes on YouTube as well. You can check me out at the link below. But we were doing Doom Tower on the free to play, and I managed to actually get past hard 30. So I stalled here at 36, and I just can't get past the first wave here. I get absolutely annihilated by Edgemon, and that's fine. But the fact that I got this far in this Doom Tower is absolutely amazing. And I wanted to make sure that I got a chance to record this because Doom Tower, as you'll see, will reset in about 7 hours. So I will be able to use a bunch of new gold keys and more silver keys to farm tomorrow. Hopefully, I should be able to not have a problem with Bommel. That is certainly going to be an interesting encounter. But I wanted to record this tonight so you guys could take a look at this. So as far as the new rotation of Doom Tower goes, I am up to floor 30, which is as far as you possibly can be if you actually did the keys during the reset and then afterwards. I actually forgot to do those on my main and my alt, which is very annoying because that loses out on a day of farming of the Dark Fae. But did not have too much of a problem getting through the Scarab boss. Vergis was very helpful back when he was only level 21, and him being higher up level, he should be able to solo the Scarab boss as I continue to push him up in level and he goes further up. It may be slow. I mean, I think this takes 2 minutes 20. That's not actually too bad for a Scarab team. But, you know, he'll be slow as he becomes eventually the only person that's doing damage and everyone else dies. But it works out fairly well. He's been very reliable for that. So he was definitely worth the 6-star, if for nothing else than that. But he's certainly been helpful in progression in other ways. So I can do some of the secret rooms. At least I'm pretty sure I can. I think I can probably get this one done. I'm pretty sure I can get this one done as well. But I am holding off until I get far enough into Doom Tower where these extra silver keys will be more valuable to me, which basically means that either by the time I start hard, and hopefully I can farm a couple of floors on hard, or I at least get to the top of the Doom Tower rotation so I can get Dark Fae materials and farm with that. We are just at the end of a Fire Knight increased Savage chance event, so I have been farming Fire Knight hard. I did push myself up to level 23. I did try 24. I cannot do 24. That's not surprising because I'm bad affinity and 24 starts to get particularly nasty. I can't get through the waves, but I can do 23. It's 100% reliable, but I'm still farming stage 20 because from an energy standpoint, that is still the most efficient one to farm. And I went looking for a bunch of Savage. I'm actually kind of excited. I'm pretty sure I can be able to get Alice into a Savage set. I do, however, need to roll it up, and I need some silver. That's kind of where my the next goal of the account is going to be, however. So I've got 8 6-stars. My 9th one is going to be Taragi. I definitely need to level him up. I've got a bunch of chickens from various events I've done. He's got, you know, gear I've kind of thrown on him. This might be his ending build. It might not be his ending build. I'd like to get him a little faster, but rolling up some of this gear will certainly help with that. Getting him ascended will certainly help with that. Getting some amulets and banners will help with that as well. So he's a work in progress. I obviously need to book him as well. I have actually gotten 2 books into the skill I really didn't care about, unfortunately, and I only had 2 epic books to get into him in the first place. But he is probably going to be my 9th 6-star. My 10th 6-star, I'm not 100% sure on. I've got a couple other people that I would like to bring up to 5 stars. I would like to bring Master Butcher up to 5 stars because I think I'm going to need him for 5 stars to get through the first level of Hard Bommel, and I don't think I have a prayer of getting beyond the first level of Hard Bommel just because I know that the second floor of Hard Bommel is really, really tough. So we'll certainly see with Master Butcher. Hopefully I can get him up to 5 stars. I don't think I'm going to need him to 6 stars, but if I have to 6-star Master Butcher to be able to farm Dark Fae on hard, then that's what I'm going to have to do. Morrigan has certainly been built. She's been very helpful for me in Arena. As you can see, she's not high in level. I put a few levels in her to get her better than nothing, but honestly, she does her job for the most part at 5-star. The banner will be helpful because the banner will eventually get me extra speed, but already she is the fastest champion of my account. And, I could get her a little bit faster, but putting these 2 perception pieces on her gave her some much needed accuracy because she does have debuffs that she needs to land as well. So I've not focused on that, and I definitely am going to want an accessory banner for her when I can, which is going to limit the speed that I can throw on her just a little bit. But overall, she's been a good addition to the account, and, I don't really regret building Haikatoon. Haikatoon has some gear on her, but I've certainly not focused on Haikatoon anymore. But Haikatoon will still be a good champion on this account for a while, for 3v3 at the very least. So this is going to be my focus for the next couple days. We've got this champion training, and that's kind of why I have not put a lot of effort into building up Taragi or anybody else for the past couple days and actually moved into Fire Knight. I actually came in second in the Fire Knight tournament, which was great. So I got some additional fragments for the artifacts. I got some additional gear, which is always helpful. Relentless gear is actually great. So getting good relentless gear can definitely change an account. And I got some decent other rewards, including an extra 4-star chicken, which was definitely helpful. Now, the rewards on this one are not amazing. I don't really care about the core hammers. I don't care mostly about those Esme fragments, although they will be effectively good things towards using for mod chests, but they may not actually even become mod fragments or mod chests until after the free-to-play is over, because it requires another patch before they become available for that. So I can't count on those to be any tangible rewards, which is unfortunate. But I can still certainly work on some of this stuff. And you know what? This is good because this might get me another Primal Shard. Primal Shards have been easy to yeet because they're valuable for getting epics and legendaries, and I'm not expecting mythicals on this account. I definitely would not recommend doing that normally, but for the competition, it seems like it's the right thing to do. Otherwise, it's just kind of focusing on where I can get additional rewards. I might end up in Dragon a little bit because I would certainly like to get slightly better destroy gear for Vergis, because his destroy gear is kind of okay, but he does need to be in that destroy gear because it helps a ton against the Scarab boss, even though he can kind of solo it anyway. But given destroy gear, he'll be able to solo it in about half the time because that's how much important that is. So maybe I'll run a little of this. I mean, some extra silver is not bad. A 3-star chicken doesn't suck. Some of the pots are not too bad. Nothing I desperately need here in the low levels, but it might be worth working. And we're talking about extra speed, so extra speed gear is certainly not an option as well. One of the things I have been focused on as well is the missions. I'm currently on the missions to get the potions and actually we'll do 10 auto runs in each of the keeps, and then get enough to be able to make 10 superior potions in each of these types of potions. So I've been certainly grinding away a little bit on that, and while I certainly could grind some of that up ahead of time, I actually already have enough in the Force. That's interesting. I didn't realize I had that many of them. That's great. So I won't even have to do more than just the minimum 10 runs here. For the Spirit and for the Magic, which to be fair, I've got a lot more Spirit and Magic champions I have been making, I have had to run some of these potions. But it's actually been pretty nice to realize that even in the early game, very rarely have I been looking at how many potions I have and said, this is a barrier for me doing anything other than the arcane ones. And the arcane ones being a problem, I can live with because that can always go into the arcane keep. So that's a bit of a quality of life improvement for getting some of these. Finally, just taking a look at Cursed City here, I've actually cleared 29 stages on normal, and I cleared 12 on hard. I think I'm at the end of my run here because I've got the Scarab up here blocking me, and I just don't have anybody for Scarab there. I can't get this boss, I'm pretty sure. I have no way to get Burns on the Frost Spider, so I have no way to block his revive right at the moment, so I literally cannot do anything with him. And Bommel continues to elude me on this team here. I certainly could try to build some of these champions up just a little bit. Maybe Coldheart getting a little bit better or getting some of her gear rolled up might help a little bit. Honestly, what I need is I need another champion or two here to help me out. That may be where Durandil comes in to be particularly useful. Maybe I need to look at some of the other champions I've built for other factions as well that have better gear than these guys do. But overall, I don't know if I'm going to get past this Pommel one. I've never gotten super close. I've gotten to maybe down to 25% at best. Usually it's about 40% before I die. And that's fine. If this is kind of where I stop, this is kind of where I stop. The fact that I've done 29 floors is already super impressive for me. Some of these floors here were definitely seat of the pants, holding on to what I could get. And sometimes it's just a matter of building other champions might come back in here. So one of the things I am definitely going to be doing is I will be coming back here regularly to test out and see if any new champions I have built or any new champions I've got can give me some stuff. And I've got, let's see, how much time I have on that? I've got 2 weeks to push a little bit further into Curse City. I might even poke a little bit on hard. Obviously, hard is going to be harder. But it's kind of the way account progression works. When you get stopped at something, it doesn't hurt to occasionally push at the edges of it, especially when it's this content that's mostly free, like Curse City and Doom Tower. You're stuck at Doom Tower, it never hurts to spend, half an hour poking at the edges to see if maybe you can manual something or maybe a different champion is going to work differently. Some of that stuff you can do for free. So never let your progress be stalled by something that you can always try again for free. Because if you manage to get past it and you get way past it, if you haven't spent the time to do it earlier, well, then maybe you're going to run out of time and won't have the chance. So that's kind of where the free to play has been. I'm still 3-keying Nightmare. I can 2-key it if it happens to be Magic or Spirit, but I need them to get it down to Magic or Spirit before I run my first key, which has been difficult to do at the way our current clan is set up. And that's fine. I can 1-key Brutal. It's not quite 100%, but honestly, I don't care. As long as I'm 3-keying Nightmare, 1-keying Brutal is just fine. Even 2-keying Brutal is not too bad. Taragi is definitely going to be the key for me progressing much further than this, so I'm not too focused on it. And honestly, most of the thing I'm hoping for is I'm really hoping I can get Alice into Savage soon, and I mostly just need to roll up a few more pieces, and then I will probably need to rebuild my Kale slightly because I do need to steal a piece from him in order to make that work. But that's fine. Kale is slowly starting to fall out of my teams. He might fall out of my team for Taragi, or that might be Sun Wukong. I'm going to play around with the clan boss teams and see which one works a little bit better. And, that's kind of the fun part of where this account is going. Early on, there were a lot of different accounts that were very similar starts. And so you got a lot of people that were doing very similar things at very similar times. Some people who pushed harder did them faster. Some people got slightly better gear, were able to push further. And some people pulled good champions really, really early, and that kind of progressed their account a bit. We're now at a point where what you have pulled defines your account as much as, if not more, than what you started with. So a lot of these CC counts are starting to differ a little bit. And that's kind of where I'm hoping I can continue to keep this lead, because a lot of where I've gone and how I've managed to push here is based off of my strategies of just taking the game as it comes, using my knowledge to push the game as best I can, and being as efficient as possible with my resources. So finally, just to wrap this up here, we do have 2 of these shards. I still could use a burner. If you have not seen the video where I pulled some shards before, I will try to link that up here. If not, it's, we were playing with fire and hoping to get some fire champions, and I have not. So we've got 2 more shards here, and we've got the progressive. We're actually starting to get close to Mercy here on these shards. So we're I think, over 100 at this point, or getting close. That is an epic. Ooh, yes. That is Rector Drath. I love Rector Drath. Rector Drath is one of my favorite epics in the game. She was a hard carry for me early on, and she is going to absolutely help me in the Knight's Rev. Rector Drath brings a good revive with a perfect veil. She brings perfect veil on everybody or continuous heals. Actually, Rector Drath may be my next 5-star after Taragi, and then I may figure out how to 6-star because she's going to be super helpful for me in Hydra because this perfect veil is one of the few ways you can actually deal with the Fearhead. So Rector Drath is a huge, huge pull in this account. That's going to be amazing. I'm super excited. But yeah, she puts the veil up, and then she has a chance to put a continuous heal up if she doesn't put the veil up if they're not fully healed. And if they have a veil, they get passively healed every time they start their turn, as long as Rector's around. And then she's got decreased attack in the A1 if you need it. It's sneaky good. It's not too bad. I usually don't build her with enough accuracy to do this in most cases because most of her kit is more revolved around the healing. But she is an absolute amazing healer. This is already on a 5-turn cooldown. It gets to a 4-turn cooldown. Not too bad. Will be usable for a little early on for some Hydra. And then this is a 6-turn bookable to 4-turn. I actually don't need to book her early on to do what I need her to do, which is going to be great. So that was an absolutely amazing pull. And let's see if we can get a burner. This would be great. Not expecting much at this point in time, but... And that's a Templar. Hey, what you going to do? So this has been awesome. Again, lots of progress, lots of new champions. The thing I absolutely need to focus on is I need to make sure that I am focused on doing what I need to do to advance my account and don't get too enamored with all these other new, shiny, cool toys. Now, that means probably some of these champions are going to get up to 5 stars. Some of these champions may languish at 4 stars and not be quite as exciting. But I really do find that you are better off investing in just a few really good champions and pushing them as far as you can, rather than spreading your account out too much. Now with gear, you can certainly spread your gear out a little bit because, you get okay gear, you throw it on somebody, as long as you're willing to take your best gear off of random champions and put them on your best champions. But being focused, kind of narrowly progressing yourself up, pushing a few champions forward here and there can really make a huge impact on your account. A bunch of 5 stars are okay, but a couple of impact 6 stars will do a lot more than 12, 14 5 stars will for your account. So appreciate you guys hanging around. I know it's been a lot of talking about me, but hey, I'm humble and I'm worth it. Absolutely. So you guys are absolutely amazing. I appreciate all the support. One of the things that you guys can do in a support, in addition to smashing that subscribe button and smashing that like button, which I absolutely appreciate, I've got links if you just want to help donate to help me keep doing these content because, at the moment, this is my livelihood and I appreciate that. You can also check out, I do have Bront CatHerder merch. I don't have any on at the moment because I need to do laundry, but I've got some really cool t-shirts, some cool stickers. I've got a water bottle. It's cool stuff. And, I don't make a ton off of it, but it helps support me, and I've tried to keep it reasonably priced so that, it's something that you guys can say, hey, this is kind of cool. I want to support this cool guy and get something cool back as well. I also do takeovers, so if you ever have any takeovers you want, hop on my Discord. Feel free to ask. I do paid takeovers. I do free takeovers every Saturday. I love helping you guys out. We give all kinds of free advice, and it's a great community in my Discord as well. So join that up. Give me all that wonderful support. You guys are absolutely amazing. Thank you much for the love. And until the next video, I'm Bront CatHerder.